Alright. So in theory, everything's up and running. That would appear to be the case. Let's go. Okay. That's the stream notification. Hell yeah. Okay, doke. I'll hop on QM for like a first to 3, I guess. While we do the funny little audio check. Who dis? I do not know.
Egrets, get ready. Time to pull myself together.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's showtime!
Oh, got all the stars. I didn't punish that. Give me my meter. I'll take those. Ooh. This isn't Sev, is it? Like the button placement didn't feel like Sev. Okay, it actually is. I'm like, these are the sweaty Komodo routes. Just didn't feel like I was dying instantly, so I didn't believe it was Sev. Oh, this might be a quick 3 games. I didn't punish that stand heavy punch though. Ah! That was my one opening. Alright. It's been cold. That actually caught my up forward round start. That is nuts. Oh my god, that tech. So long ago. Oh, that's not good. I am now in the corner. You are now in the corner. I thought the throw was coming. Heck, your assist. I did not think they would recover in time. Stop me from doing that. That's awkward. That caught my backdash. What are you doing? Mashing! I don't think I'd die for this. Did that actually hit cross up? I didn't stop holding back. I'm dead now. Did that really hit cross? Or did I accidentally... I swear I was walking back.
One more time.
And if you're talking about after bikes, it's just a normal dash. Parrot doesn't really have micro dash things. Oh, that button. That hit cross. Sev is the only Fortune who makes me actually feel like this character's nuts. I need to stop push blocking in the same exact spot every time. Oh, the best player is... yeah. No. Oh, time to get looped. That actually push block rated me. Dang. That's not all that bad of a link, honestly. My pillar... Am I dead? Not quite. Get me out of here. I thought I could get the cross under. Yeah, the head. I don't know why I baited the mash. Why? Okay, headless. I mean, Sev does play the roster. Like,
Curiosity can't kill me.
yeah, they play the roster. I hate Parasol Throw. My dome. Oh, stop. I didn't want that medium punch anyway. My pillar? I hate the head. Yeah, there we go. No, stop. That didn't pick up. My pillar. Sev has definitely played Pinwheel before. They at least know the routes because I've definitely heard them talk about labbing Rabble's team. They actually called me out on that air throw. I'm dead. I have enough time for the first to 5 before the event. Oh, I have enough time for the first to 5 if I don't win, which I don't expect to, but we'll see what happens.
Curiosity can't kill me.
What can I do to win though? Like, yeah. I wanted chicken block pillar. I was right. I guess I didn't want sniper. Oh, I'm gonna lose my mind. I thought they got the corner for a second. I didn't get my dash input. And I die for that. My pillar, I was late. They drop. I get magneted. Yep. Okay. I thought I could throw in time there. I don't know why I thought I could. Yep. They dropped! I gave up! I mean, I think I was dead anyway, even if I blocked there. I'm sorry, Seth, but I have to run the event now. Whoops. Yeah, those drops are rough. I need to work on consistency, but I hit that stuff in lab, and then I just don't in game. Pain. Pecco. I mean, it's the same way people play every character. Put time into it. Also, for the record, Sev has played this game for, like, since the beginning of time for this game and competed in fighting games beforehand. Like, they played competitively for old versions of BlazBlue. So, like, she's been a top-level fighting game player in multiple games for God knows how fucking... Oh, God, how long at this point. Yeah. But that being said, let me get 4 slots just in case. Get the lobby going, and we'll get the event going. I mean, some characters just make sense to you and some characters don't. Like, part of the reason why I dropped the trio I had been playing is I kept trying to play Squiggly like Parasol, and she doesn't have a projectile, and it weirds me the hell out. I was just like, I couldn't figure out the character. Strum lobby. Oh, whoops. I need to window that so alt-tabbing doesn't break it. There we go. And then, which open lobby were you wanting, Crab? Yeah, Elphaba takes a while to get used to. I remember learning Fortune and that threw me off. Hi, yeah, hop on in. Oh, how many hours are you at again? I forget. Okay, yeah. No, I'm sorry. Just I'm so bad with names. My brain just like in one ear out the other. I wish I was better at remembering people because it would really help for casting, but don't work. Let's get y'all two in here. And this is 3 flat matches today. And y'all are good to go. I don't think anyone really had actually... Okay, no. Mistro asked about... Oh, that's a lab question. Never mind. Yeah, okay. I mean, we use hours as a rough approximation. Like, it's hard to give advice when games are completely one-sided. And it's not fun to play games that are completely one-sided on either side. So it's just like... We deliberately try and match people up with something that would be reasonable to give advice on. And obviously, we also, like, especially once we learn players and figure out their skill level, the hours are just a bit of an extra help to jog our memory, but yeah. But that being said, let's focus on what's going on. Get hype. So the funny thing about Beowulf after the change, and if you don't have the taunt input down, that's fine, but you can kind of taunt in neutral in the places where you're using the stand medium punch to get hype. Especially if you use an assist to kind of body block for you. I think you're in a pretty good spot. Unfortunate draw. We blitz her a lot. It's pretty normal. I'm already seeing the good old Annie habit crab. Can and will get you killed. That taunt was a little late. Brass and neutral is very dangerous if you're not keeping it deliberately spaced, and usually for that you'd be using L or M anyway. Patience? I have no clue if that parry was intentional or not. Yeah, so like there, if you had taunted, you probably would have gotten all three taunt faster than if you had just held the medium punch. We gotta work on this mashing crab. Or just like, not necessarily mashing, but unsafe neutral. You know you can kill and you just spend it. I'd love to see it. Okay, SSJ still does it. I thought we were going into level 3. Yeah, I'm liking a lot of what I'm seeing. Mistro, it's... Is it Mistro or Maestro? Can I read? Am I dumb? Mistro, okay. Yeah, I'm liking a lot of what I'm seeing. Okay, Maestro, perfectly fine. I was more so just looking at the way it was spelled. We try and keep the stream PG-12. I messed up a little bit earlier, so I'll probably just keep on using Maestro. Also, we do recommend playing with the stream muted, just because a voice in your ear can be distracting, but that's by the by. But yeah. Sweep and neutral can be useful. Do keep in mind that you will not get a combo off of it. Oh no, no confirm! That is a great option to catch people trying to get out of the corner though. I do like that 6 HP. Get thrown out of bad pressure, drop a combo, mash. SSJ might have honestly killed there. And if it didn't, you could have done giant stuff SSJ instead of the level 3, but yeah. E. That hit cross. Right, we have full routes. Yeah. Oh, we gotta punish that a little bit faster. Bonk. 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 Yeah, it looks like we have... We didn't realize we had the chair. Or something got messed up there. Overhead. Good back. Oh. Yeah, once again, these brasses and A-Trains. Oh no. Punish? Nice. Get the corner carry. Missed that. Unfortunate. Mistimed it. Unfortunate. Punish this. Okay, go for Elbrass afterwards. Yeah, gotta work on that timing. Yeah, so both of y'all's bands, mostly Crab, but y'all play the Impatient Band RPS, where you're trying to do, I mean, mostly we're seeing Brass and A-Train, but Giant Step is technically a part of that as well. The problem with the Rock, Paper, Scissors is it's almost entirely reactable. Band actually has pretty decent neutral. Like, yeah, it can definitely be painful, but I haven't seen either of y'all use Symbols, which is a great neutral tool. His normals aren't bad. And again, like, Brass can be used very well if it's spaced. Spaced is incredibly hard to punish. Yeah. Been good. I mean, actually, you know the taunt route because you're using it in your combos. I just go for that neutral. Because it's decently quick and it's pretty hard to punish. Alright, what's our routing? What's our mix? Cheeky mix. Good confirm. Calling beam in the corner like that is really dangerous. That's a big confirm. Punish. Okay. Yeah, so it's weird because both of y'all. Well, I know you were asking about this, Maestro. But both of y'all feel tentative about going into intermediate, and it's really interesting to me because it's like, y'all are at a really weird spot where I think y'all are so much farther along in one aspect of the game than the other, and so it's for Crab, you've got routing decently down. Don't see any major drops in like full and dizzy routing. But your neutral is, like, this is gonna sound kind of rude, but like unrefined or impatient. You're hanging yourself out to dry a lot. And if you just tone down some of those habits and just leave yourself less immediately punishable on block, I think you'll be in a really good spot. That was by far the biggest thing I think for me, for you, Crab, was just that. And then I think there were one or two hit confirms, but that's this game's nuts. Sometimes you just miss the hit confirm. There's so much crap going on. But so, like, especially for the band, not doing H-Brass in neutral, like, that's a really hard call out. Not doing A-Train in neutral, that is again a really hard call out. And it's not like a never do that, but it's don't autopilot into it. Have a plan and try and react with those tools, because they're strong tools for dedicated purposes that if you throw out willy-nilly as just a part of your, like, I'm playing neutral, as you saw, you will get hit. You will get hit a lot. Crab for the Annie. I think your Annie was a bit safer on block, but you can cheat a little bit with Crescents. You have an easy job of that. I didn't pay attention to your defense all that much. But so like on the other side for you, Maestro, you did phenomenal for like what I'd consider beginner neutral. I really liked a lot of what I was seeing. You were keeping yourself safe on block. You looked like you had a plan for the buttons and assists you were calling. You looked very comfortable playing a fighting game, movement and included. And so like the big thing for me is you feel really comfortable in neutral, and then you just need to get routing and mix down. And so I probably, because I know you were asking, I think I'd encourage you to enter as an intermediate. But you can enter either depending on what you want more advice on. Because I think your biggest hurdle, at least in terms of what we pay attention to as a beginner focus session, so like the match we just had was, it's like, are you playing with a purpose? Are you keeping yourself safe on block? How's your routing and mix? Like, do you have a full combo you're comfortable doing, and do you have like a mix up you like doing? And so you were really solid at a lot of fundamentals, and then you're just, as I said, just a little bit iffy on the routing. And so I think, especially if you put more time into the routing, just a couple hours here or there whenever you're feeling like it. Yeah, I think you're an intermediate level player. Definitely on the fence, but I would encourage you to go to the other side. But yeah. I'm trying to think, was there anything... So, for you as like general tips, and this is going a bit into intermediate neutral, I would probably, if you're trying to cheat hype and neutral, again, I just full send the taunt input, because it's slower than getting like a single taunt off a stand medium punch, but I'm pretty sure it ends up being faster if you're going for all three off of the stand medium punch hold. Like, Ruby does it all the time because you can just get away with it. It's decently fast as long as someone's not actively running at you. And that's what your assists are really good at. You call beam and it kind of stops people from running at you. There was the mix, or there was the routing. Didn't get to see the robo play all too much. So I just... Basic robo, like introduction to robo. I would think about robo as a more mobility-oriented zoner than a projectile-oriented zoner, where her mobility is nuts, and so she does a really good job of getting into a place that allows her to zone almost completely safely, and then zoning from there rather than just getting a barrage of projectiles out. So I would encourage you to think of robo like that. Again, we didn't get to see her play all too much, so that's more just general baseline advice, not directed at anything you were doing specifically. And then band again. Brass and A-Train have their place, but I would encourage you to use a lot of the slower neutral tools. So E-Break if you really want to cover space quickly, but you can do it safely like that. Jump and double jump, and then you have symbols. You have jump light kick. Like, those are gross buttons. Once you get closer, crouch heavy punch is a decent poke that leaves them a sound stun, and it low crushes for some reason. Up really close, his jab is honestly a really good jab. His 2LK is a really good multi-hit low. He's got decent tools to play neutrals though, and so you don't gotta commit the forward moving unsafe armored moves to play the neutral. It's intriguing, and like it feels really good when it hits, but the more you play and the more you play experienced players, the less often it will hit. So it's approach with caution. But yeah, I'll get the other two gamers in here. If y'all have Any question, like specific questions, shoot away and I'll address them before we get started with the next match. But yeah. Yeah, dealing with zoning as Beowulf is probably one of his biggest flaws in general. It's a lot of being patient. So like, if you're having a problem dealing with Parasol, and Parasol specifically, I think that's a lot more you getting used to navigating their zoning patterns, rather than dealing with zoning as a whole, because Parasol's got decent zoning, but Beowulf can jump over things. He's lanky, he's big, he's a little bit slow. So it's like you got to do a good job of knowing what's coming and knowing what you can react to with arm. So like if a Parasol ever does H shot, even full screen, you can arm that. And so if you see them do the really fast shot, you can react honestly pretty late to it and still catch them. They would need to super cancel and then DHC unless they had 3-bar, and then you'd lose. But then you could DHC into Robo level 3 and block, or DHC all the way to SSJ and that's getting to the like super things, but it's a lot more of, I think, just getting used to approaching patiently. Bash blocking is really good, and just knowing how to get into the dead zones and or use your assisty projectiles while you make forward progress. But it is tedious for Beowulf. And I'll check real quick if there's anyone else in chat who's a beginner in like lower levels of intermediate towards middling intermediate if they'd want to run. But if no one pipes up in like the next minute, you can hop back in, Maestro. I mean, how much have you played in the past like 2 months, Shion? Because you keep saying you're practicing and then I never see you actually do anything. How many hours are you at overall, Shion? I cannot remember for my life. Why do you stick with MapleStory after everything that's happened? MapleStory is such a mess, man. Nexon constantly outdoes themselves with just like how evil a company can be. It's hilarious. How long does it take to check your hours? Shion! Okay. Yeah, I think we'll have Maestro in here. Like, I know you spent most of your time in Lab Shion, but that's still a lot of time in the game. There is Tsukiyomi for an open lobby straight after this.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's showtime.
We're in. Good confirm. A little bit late on the taunt input. Here come the conchos. Mixed. Cancelled the stand heavy kick too early, but caught them sleeping. We didn't get done. There we go. Mix them up. Oh my god, that is enough to kill. Okay, if you want to fight Art, Tsuki, we'll have that happen. But yeah, so... I mean, there's not much to say off of just a single game hold. Hold my tongue just a little bit for King Droid. I need to see a little bit more first. We can reflect beam. Concho again. I think if you delayed it a little bit, you could have kept both in. Why are we grab bagging when it won't kill? I think you can dynamo and punish that on reaction. I'm pretty sure you can dynamo that. Go for Concho instead of just killing. Fortunate drop there. Caught Maestro pressing. Okay, what do we do on defense, Maestro? What happened to your push block? Did he push block BNB? Didn't quite get the firm. No hype. Oh, we gotta punish that. We don't have hype to convert from this. Yeah, I think I would rather use ARM as the reversal option. Like the risk reward for going for that when you don't have hype to convert off of it is actually, it's 3 bar for not much afterwards. It's kind of expensive. press on the way down. We are jumping a lot, King Droid. That's like the 5th time in a row I've seen you the second you touch the ground. Jump, double jump. Espio? So a thing to think about there, King Droid, is you used Espio and then did a full magic series, and not only used the Undizzy, oh no punish, not only used the Undizzy for all those buttons, but then took them all immediately out of IPS. So think about doing like light until launcher, to save Undizzy, save IPS, among other things. Oh no, sad. We're getting thrown. What do we do on defense? What do we press? Did not see what button that was. It wasn't certain heavy punch, which is your main reversal tool. And we're getting caught by some, of course. Okay. Good tech. Again, Space Brass, pretty good. You might have gotten punished by cremation there. Yep, and she has a hit grab, which beats armor in this game. So you gotta be careful about that. But yeah, okay, so... I think... For you, Maestro, on defense, your push blocks are pretty good. I don't think you need a lot of work on that. I think both of you... Because just giving mash more as blanket advice is, like, dangerous. But both of y'all give a lot of respect on defense. And you're kind of just letting your opponent do stuff in your face. Like, I think it was game 1, King Droid. They did A-Train and Descend Heavy Punch, which restood you, and then you slowly walked back for, like, a good half a second while they dash jumped at you and then hit you with, like, the Omega delayed jump light kick. Like, this is getting into the... If you mash too much, you will die in this game. But on the other side of the spectrum, if you give your opponent way too much respect, they will do the nastiest, fakest thing in your face that's, like, impossible to block, but just explodes if you decide to press a single button. So it's... Yeah, experiment with your defensive options more. Mix up push block timing slightly, although I think both y'all were pretty good about that. Mashing doesn't need to be a invulnerable move in this game, although it tends to be because, I mean, for obvious reason. But jabs are not bad mashes in this game. If you think someone's doing something real slow in your face, hit the funny light punch button. Yeah. So it's like... Dangerous advice, I don't want y'all to take this too far, as in I want you to mash always, but I think you can press a little bit more, invulnerable or otherwise. So then on King Droid's side, I don't even need to talk about the conchos, you know about the conchos, you memed before the set. You do need to work on your double jump habit, though. That is another big thing for your neutral. You were in the air permanently. You were using your double jump almost immediately. It is predictable, and it is... Once you've used your double jump, you're set in that trajectory, and people can plan around that for a very long time. Yeah, and then also... Okay, yeah, so there is that. double jump habit for both characters. And then for the squiggly, you gotta stop using silver cord the way you are. Like, it worked in these games, but I'm telling you, you gotta cut that out. It's the same deal with the concho, where a little bit's nice, anything more than a little bit, and your opponent just plays patient, realizes you're gonna do something that leaves you infinitely minus on block, and blow you up for it. It's an easy habit to autopilot into, because it's like, oh, I didn't get my hit confirm, and I went all the way into silver cord, and they didn't punish it. Yay. It's not going to last forever, unfortunately. It's a nice cheeky little frames trap for people who push block you at times. Other than that, man, is it bad and neutral. Yeah, and then, so Maestro's side... Like, again, I know this is kind of a repeat, but the biggest thing is honestly just the routing. The routing and getting comfortable with the inputs. So, like, the accidental flubs on getting taunt, that's just a little bit more time in the game, a little bit more time in the lab, and that'll be more consistent. So it's like, you have a pretty straightforward path to improving a lot. Again, didn't get to see the Robo play too much. It seemed like you were trying to use her mostly as an assist, which, fair enough, Beam is disgusting. But yeah. Wish I had more to say, but I feel like the biggest things were the stuff I've already addressed. There's not anything more specific. Get tag instead of heavy kick A-train. The unfortunate advice is just clean up your inputs. Do you use an assist macro or do you manually input? Yeah, okay. Like, if you're already using a macro, it is definitely just clean up your inputs. Yeah, because... Graham. Yeah, it's gonna be cleaning up your inputs. So like, if you don't know why it's happening, is the assist macro is essentially pressing 2 buttons, and so if you're hitting all of them within, I'm gonna forget exactly what the window is, but if you're hitting them close enough together that the game thinks you meant to press all 3 at once, it will prioritize the snap. That's kind of just how the game goes. The game is really generous with trying to read your inputs to a fault. So it's a weird game to get used to, the input reader. I have a similar problem with Overcharge. But that's getting down the line, where it's kind of just get a feel for the game's input reader and clean it up a little bit. There's no secret trick, as far as I know. I don't think anything with negative edge would help for that execution. But I don't know negative edge well enough to say for certain. It's pretty niche in this game. But yeah, Straight and Suki, y'all are good to go.
to pull my
God dang it, straight. Fortune dittos. Whoa. Pressing after that is sketchy. Okay, I'm pretty sure you're neutral. Good chicken block. Bum, bum. Pretty late push block. Bum, bum. Kill the character. What's our incoming? That was kind of awkward. Mistimed the low. Good press, Suki. Oh, accidental DP. Unfortunate misinput. Cash out. Stinger. Very dead. Ooh, I would not encourage those extra hits, though. You took them so much further from the corner than they needed to be. Both of y'all got the Annie habit. Why are y'all up backing from full screen? Oh. I know I've talked with you straight about this, but Tsuki, like, up back into air dash forward or dive kick is a very common Annie habit, but like it is decently good, but she has other neutral options. Try and avoid doing that because at least autopiloting into it. Because it leads to situations like that where y'all both are clearly letting autopilot do most of the work rather than trying to think about how you want to be approaching neutral. Just both Annie's full screen up back. Like, she's got good grounded buttons. Her stand medium punch is gross. It's gross. And very few people press it. What if our fibers touched? Overhead. Mistime that overhead slightly. I need to delay it a little bit, at least off that setup. There might be other ways to make it meaty. A little too far away for that fiber to work. We are swinging. Kill the character. Oh no. Oh, you had both. I respect going for the sweat, but if you do a basic pickup, that was 2 characters there, so it's... Don't gotta be optimal always. Oh, wow, you went for that SPO. You didn't have charge. Keep yourself safe. Good blocks, great push block. How did I hit? No, that won't work. Why wouldn't you go into cat heads there, Straight? Straight, you've got to recognize that Tsukiyomi has pressed on the way down every single time. You're at the part of the game where you definitely need to start playing your opponent at least a little bit. They have been pressing on the way down constantly. Tighten up your mix, do something meaty that'll counter hit them for it. Beam. Keep them in the corner. Up back, up back, up back. You just gave them so much space out of the corner. So it worked out in the end, but I would be really tentative to give that Annie that space like that, because there's an argument to running away and just playing the zoning game. The issue is that Annie had 5 bar, and the second you try and get a projectile out, you're getting Pillar of Creation. So in that situation, like, you don't necessarily need to go in, but I'd at least say hold your ground and make it really awkward. Like, make them fight to get out of the corner and see if you can catch them out on any bad escapes. Yeah, just a flat 3 games. So this is the final game. Yeah, can't really avoid that. Hit. Oh no, we get dropping there. Good punish. We're mixing. It's pretty greedy. You could have just snapped in the fortune and chipped them out. You can anti-air the jump heavy punch, by the way. It's not disjointed. Oh, we gotta jump out of that. We gotta react. Did our SPO get crossed up? That should have been a punish. Good patience, though. Good PPGC. If you're gonna PPGC and press, you gotta believe. Unfortunate, no confirm. Why were we still recording when they were in the air? You already used that button. Don't push block that! Oh no, no, we're dead. Oh, that silver cord was your in. That actually caught. What a jab. Oh no! Oh, you don't confirm off of that, Suki? We gotta get these confirms down, gamer. Yeah, good. Yeah, you. At that point, straight, I'm like, just swing with Cat Scratch Weaver. I think you're dead regardless, so that's kind of a moot point. But yeah. So one big thing I noticed for both of y'all's fortunes is you were going for the more optimal stuff. You were trying to do like stand heavy punch, L fiber, and that sort of shebang. Which, like, in isolation, big thumbs up. That's a lot of damage for fortune routing. The downside is, especially versus lights and smaller characters, you have to be really aware of your ranges, otherwise it whiffs, and we saw that a lot. Same thing with both of y'all's mix. There was a decent amount of time where the mix you did clearly works on mediums, but your timing was too early, and so you went for the overhead or the low before they actually hit the ground. And so it's being aware of your opponent's weight class and how that messes with your routing. Be aware of their size and how that messes with your routing. It's very important, especially if you're wanting to do some of the sweatier stuff for Fortune. That was one thing that stuck out to me a lot for that set. There was one time, I'm going to forget who it was. I think it was straight because it was an Annie DP hit. No, it wasn't. It doesn't matter. You got the hit and you went for stand heavy punch L fiber OTG. for the to get the happy birthday combo when you could have just done jab pickup into whatever you wanted afterwards, killed the point character, and then just completely killed the mid because the assist you hit was the mid. And it's like, yes, that's optimal, but the risk of dropping that, because that's annoying on OTG, and not only is it annoying, I would be really scared of it breaking just in general versus two characters. It's like no one you can chill out and just do the easy stuff. And I mean, they kind of made it universal ish. So it's like when Annie came out, Stand Heavy Punch L Fiber just straight up whiffed on her and Bella, even at point blank. But now, if you're like slightly away from being point blank, the Stand Heavy Punch L Fiber doesn't connect. So being aware of how people's weight and size affect things is really important. The same way, like, you can be hitting two lights, so you can be hitting Philia and Peacock, but Peacock is much wider, so the hitbox might hit her first, go away, and you drop the happy birthday. This game has some jank, and you just gotta get used to the hitboxes, because there's some shenanigans going on at times. So, beyond that for the fortunes, Suki, you were pressing a lot, and it was working. So I'm not going to necessarily tell you to stop, I just want you to be aware of how to adjust that gauge if you start getting punished for it. And the reason I bring that up straight is you should have keyed in game 1 or game 2 that Suki ain't trying to block. They're pressing a falling button on your loose left-right mix. You are... because he was doing the wrong reset. Yeah, I mean, you did it on their fortune, too. And he didn't do any left-rights, so... But yeah, so it's like... notice if players are doing that, and figure out a mix that actually hits them meaty for the same thing. So it's like, for me, as Parasol, I know I need to do different routings for my left-right vortex if I wanted to hit on lights versus mediums versus heavies. And then I know that I can only go for left-right and keep it meaty, but I can go high-low left-right if I know they're not pressing on the way down. And so it's like, really pay attention to the defensive habits of your opponent, because that makes it so much easier to open them up and punish them for being predictable. If you're just autopiloting your offense without considering what your opponent is actually doing, life can become a whole lot harder for you. And I think that's kind of what you were doing straight. Because it's like, when you run your offense and it works, you have a pretty strong offense, but you were getting caught out here and stuffed in a lot of places. Then beyond that, I mean, I talked about the Annie thing. Y'all know. Neutral jump or up back, delay air dash or dive kick. It's a classic. Don't do it all the time or you're going to start getting anti-aired by everyone. Like, there aren't anti-airs in SG. There are anti-airs in SG. Like, I mean, straight, you've played me. You will get hit by my stand heavy punch so often if you keep doing that stuff. So, what y'all are doing a lot is you're doing like a neutral jump or an up back, sitting in the air for just a little bit, like getting to the peak of your jump, and then more often than not doing doing an air dash and a button. Obviously, you can also dive kick out of that, but it's the same concept where you kind of like wait a little bit in the air and then just commit your air option to go in. And it's something you see Annies do a lot. You can just 2LP double. Like, you can just 2LP bomber. There are other ways to deal with it, or you can just go under it because you're Annie. Like, but like putting yourself in the air that much, especially as a character with only one air option, leaves you incredibly liable to get anti-aired. Like if you watch and I like, you know, JP is the anti-air person. Like, he does that on all of his characters when he plays this game. And one of the things he immediately keys into is how you spend your air resources. So, like, I was talking about him with how he played Hona at CB. Hona really likes to use their double jump, which on Val isn't the end of the world. But on double, you're setting that arc, and JP just was like, okay, I can anti-air you here. Because there's nothing you can press here if I time my anti-air right that will beat me pressing a button. So it's... And then also on the other side to that, Annie has some pretty good neutral buttons. Like, you stay grounded. Again, 2LP. Like, people get mad at it. It's a good anti-air. It's a good button. People get mad at it for a reason. I would argue they get too mad at it, but it's a good tool. 5 medium punch. Gross. Yucky. Ugh. Like, God, that button reaches far. I mean, if you stay on the ground, you have access to your crescents. Like, any crescents are a really annoying projectile, especially depending on the matchup. Her 2 medium kick is gross as well. So it's, you've got other neutral plans than just sit in the air and pray jump heavy punch or jump medium punch, save the day. If you stay on the ground and you notice they're doing the funny, like, too much in the air, you can anti-air them, or you can do up forward jump light kick. Sorry, jump light kick is one of the grossest rising air to airs in this game. Like, it's another Bella jump light punch, unironically. It's incredibly good. You have a lot of tools with that character, and by jumping as consistently as you are, you're really limiting yourself. Annie to 2 HP is gross, and more Annies need to use it. Obviously, it's a lot more committal than 2LP, but if you know, so like, again, if you're playing versus an Annie who you know, once they air dash, can't do anything else, you see that air dash, you press 2 HP, nothing they do beats it. All of a sudden, you've hit them with counter hit brass and get a full combo afterwards. I think you're on the right page because you brought it up in the first place. She's got good tools, so don't limit yourself to being predictable. Your squiggly... I mean, you were just doing squiggly things. The one very questionable thing that sticks out to me was the trying to anti-air them with silver cord. Like, somehow you got away with it because it shifted you just barely enough forward, and they were like scared to deal with your assist. But yeah, I mean, y'all were just gaming. Unfortunately, 3 games does go by pretty quick, so I don't know if I have much other advice. I wish I had paid more attention to your assist calls, actually, because that might have been where some of the advice was needed, but yeah. So I'll get the final gamers in here, and let me know if y'all have any final questions I might not have addressed, because I'll definitely want to get on this. Yeah, no, it's more so just I'm trying to think of everything I could have been paying attention to and seeing if I remembered anything, but fortunately stuff just happened. The one downside to live review is you can only see so much. But we've got Dovod versus... It was Artiviot, right? Yeah. Shoot away. Man, how am I getting hot in here? It's like... It's literally like 20 degrees outside. Why is it hot in this room? Yes. Comboing double. First and foremost, I would say... Overall... I'd honestly recommend trying to learn chargeless stancels. It can help. Learning how to get charge off of Daisy is another big thing, and then that kind of makes your routing a lot more universal. Other than that, it's... I know Aki told me to use Jump Light Punch instead of Jump Light Kick in the second string. That can help stabilize your air strings. But yeah, it's kind of just mess in the lab and really figure that out, because I feel your pain. That, like, squiggly comboing... Squiggly comboing double is awkward for, like, no reason. But yeah, that's kind of just iron it out in the labs, see what changes work. Alright. P brass or P beam versus P beam. Set up the zoning, force them to hold all this. Yep. Got a big thing with this matchup is keep an eye on when they can teleport. And so if you can just sit on a stand heavy punch and see what their reactions are after, that's a really good tool to use in this matchup, because if you overcommit into specials too early, they can teleport and punish you for it. But if you just sat on the stand heavy punch, you can react to if they're doing a teleport, or if they respect it, then it's like, okay, I'll just go into delayed something after they've blocked the stand heavy punch, sort of deal. And the P is done. What is 2OK on block? I don't actually know. Good punish. Get them to the corner, set up the zoning. Have good beams. Try and stop them from setting up too much. But yeah, you got a little too close. I'd need to check. But can you just saw after you block sweep? Is there anything the Peacock can actually do about that? I mean, yeah, that's a rough part of the game. If you don't know, I'll honestly check in lab after this, because I don't need to keep the lobby. +4 on block, okay. But you might just be able to saw in reaction after you block sweep. I don't know if there's anything P can do about that. It can be minus, but the issue with saying anything like George's in your face or minus is the fact that there's another one coming that frame traps you. So if you have a way to ignore it, that's pretty good. Yeah. We're struggling to deal with this. Tag out. On, like, as long as there isn't a Lenny on the screen, tagging is not a bad idea. Good armor. Oh, I hit him drop, really? That's unfortunate. You can try and get some L-beams out. L-beam on the ground is not bad. It clears all the grounded bombs, and like it's obviously faster than getting in the air. Something you can use a bit more. What if our jump heavy kicks touch? Yeah. Magnet? Did I get kicked out? I got kicked out. That sucks. Oh wow. Dang. Thank you for the raid, Sushi. Unfortunately, we're having a little bit of technical difficulties right now. Oh, did my internet just explode? Is that what just happened? What in the world? Okay, yeah, it looks like my internet decided to explode, so I definitely won't count that game. Patient. Yeah, one thing for this mirror art is you want to get stun heavy punch out as much as possible. It's a really fast projectile, and again, as I was talking about earlier, you can special cancel it on reaction to a lot of different things. Get her out, keep it safe. Before she got any projectiles set up, you probably could have gotten a wall of nails out while you still had install, because you don't need to charge while in install. That might have bought you a little bit more time to start getting going. Oh no! Too slow on the stun heavy punch, or 2 HP. Dovad, we are almost exclusively going for dash jump, air throw to catch people running away, or approaching. I'm so sorry, Art. Good beam super. Get it out, start zoning. Yeah, RP doesn't use stun heavy punch all that much. Good armor, accidentals, dust. Oh no, Arsis got Lennied. That's game. So you cannot avoid this. Yeah. But yeah. Internet might have eaten this, but greatly appreciate the raid, Sushi. But yeah, if you want one final game art, you can hop back in. But yeah, that being said, advice right off the gate, a lot of it was P-Mirror because that was the thing that dominated the most. But so get Stand Heavy Punch out a little bit more for you, Art. I don't know how easily you can call Beam to check a Brass call, especially with item drop being an issue. But it feels like, and this is more of like a P specific question that I won't be able to answer, but it feels like sometimes you are the one to get the zoning started and then you just can't keep control. Whereas when Dovad forces you to block a projectile, they're keeping advantage off that for a while. But good mix. Get the Robo out. Robo Mirror. Beam the assist. Footsies. Double dust, what does it mean? Okay. Yep, tag out. I was about to say, before you got all the way that low to get in chip out range, you might have been able to just alpha counter into P and get your zoning going. That's a really strong tool with the assist you have. Or if you can block full screen projectile and just bail the robo out of a really crappy situation. Oh! You didn't think that Lenny would hit you, Dovad. Yeesh. I would not be brassing with a Lenny on top of you. Full sent it. You should have died for that. You got one more chance. Good job checking out the space. Oh, we gotta finish these combos, Art. I know you're working on a lot of characters, so drops are gonna happen more often, but at the end of the day, a drop's a drop, and it might cost you a game. It didn't cost you this one. Okay, so I wish I knew the Robometer to give y'all more advice. I would definitely ping Cat Pie or PME. My only thought would be do your best to get above your opponent as much as possible. So if you see them super jump, get in their dead zones, wait for them to start coming down, and then use your own super jump to get above them yourself. That sort of deal. Because that matchup just looked loony, and I wish I had more advice for that. I talked already a lot about the P mirror. Stand heavy punch is your best friend. I don't know why, but it seems like Dovada is able to press much more of an advantage once they force you to block, and I don't want to attribute that all to Brass, because sometimes they're using Beam. But that is something to ask around about. I wish I could give you more concise advice about how to tighten up your zoning after you force them to block. But I don't understand P well enough. There's... Yeah, you used install to bail out P, and then you didn't use anything for install. Obviously you needed to close a lot of distance, but it's like, install when you're not getting the hit doesn't last very long, and so if you're given the opportunity, I would abuse the small advantages it does give you in neutral. It's like, you don't need to charge your nails anymore, so throw out a wall of nails to help aid your approach. That sort of deal. Yeah, and I think that was most of everything I wanted to say for you, Art, unfortunately. For Dovad, I mean, most of it was pretty solid. One major habit I saw was when you were trying to chase someone running away from your P, or oftentimes you were also trying to contest someone's airspace, you almost always did dash jump throw, especially to catch people like trying to run away at least a little bit. It's dangerous to do it as much as you were. If they just pressed a preemptive button, you probably would have exploded. Could also just come out swinging with like a jump light, or you could do that but do jump heavy punch and say you're not necessarily getting the combo for it, even though I guess with air dash you could confirm, but it's like just get a hitbox out there and then bail out. You don't need to full commit to present a threat, is my way of thinking about it. And then you can also just opt to get your zoning started. I obviously, you know, as a P player, that's never a bad option. Then for the Robo, I mean, I talked about what I thought. Oh, there was the one thing I wanted to test, which is good knowledge for both of you. Right. The one thing I wanted to test How do I want to do this? Can I have it just set up to do... Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Am I blind? Where does it say both? There we go. So if I... Okay, that does work. That's a true block string. But I did also set it up to push block. So saw works there. I hate that. That actually comes out in time to trade. What's the frame down on that? Does it say? I'm -9, so you're still... You're able to combo off that trade. So that's a really good trade for you. Wait, how do you... How do you do... Rekka into teleport? Am I crazy? I thought that was... Oh, you can only do it with backwards teleport. Whoops. Okay. Okay, that beats it. Suppressing Saw doesn't seem like a bad idea there, because if whoops, that's not the right button. If you go into this, they can just you can cancel it into beam. So if you block that sweep, honestly, I'd just be mashing heavy punch for both of y'all. Obviously, assists change the game, but seems like a neat little thing to have in the pocket to get ready to go. Other than that, for Dovad, I mean, you really committed as banned in the game you lost, but at the same time, like, I want to tell you to be more patient, but you were on a timer. So it was going to be rough one way or another. But you just did brass into brass into brass into SSJ. So I think I still am going to say probably try and parry and walk forward a little bit more, or at least E-break. But, like, I mean, the Lenny's on the screen so they can react to the E-break with the Argus. It's just a mess. I would prefer you be more patient, but I can understand why you did what you did. And then, besides that, we didn't really get to see the band play all that much. Yeah, so I think the biggest takeaway for you, Dovad, is think about how you're contesting space with P. Because, again, as I said earlier, it was like, you were in this space, you did this. Every single time. And again, well, it's like not an awful option. Someone's gonna catch on to that. And so it's like, do that, get back into zoning. Oh, you're right, you don't have... Well, no, you do have air dash. And then you're back full screen. If you want to contest that space. Obviously, you do also have that. You can also just do the funny. You have a lot of options. And I know you like to play aggressive, so that's why I was focusing more so on, you don't always gotta do that. If you think they're gonna be in that airspace, you can also just... Oh, that's the wrong button. This work rhyme. if you have enough time, just run into where they're landing and laugh at them as they, obviously, depends on the character. If it's a Parasol, you're getting jump heavy punched or jump heavy kicked for this, but, yeah. Use this. What other stupid stuff can you do on the ground? I mean, yeah, your ground buttons aren't necessarily the greatest. What is the hitbox on this? I don't actually know. I mean, I'm kind of just rambling at this point, so before I go down this tangent, do any of y'all have any further questions? Don't want to just waste y'all's time satisfying my own curiosity. Because I'd much rather address things y'all are explicitly curious about. What's your question, Oppie? While we wait for the others? They might have already skedoodled as well, so... Yeah, if you got P-specific questions... I mean, honestly, ask, because if Sev's still here, at least she probably has the answers. Other than that, yeah, I would reach out to Baghdad's in the server. It's pretty good knowledge. Nope might be in the server, and they're usually pretty good about helping beginners. No, Nope isn't. Oh yeah, no they are. I'll try and... As far as I understand, P5 Heavy Punch is a really good button to press in the mirror. Mostly because, at least using it to establish yourself, one, it's an extra projectile to clear other projectiles, two, it is something you can special cancel out of and react to a lot of the things your opponent is doing. Assist dependent? Okay. I would 100% trust Sev's word over mine. But so for... Can I even keep my filio pressure tight enough for this? What do they do? Is it just... I'll try it, I guess. Yeah, so... I did not push block that properly. Yeah, I mean, that's... So, basically what I'm... What I'm at least if I think I understand what you're asking about for the push block mind games, is a lot of this, where it's... In theory, like, the best place for me to push block is the second hit, so I get them off of me. The issue is, if they're predicting me to push block there, they can preemptively air dash. And I can't get another button up. But if I don't push block here, the option they chose to preempt my push block is all of a sudden way too slow because they really expected me to be in like 25 extra frames of block stun. So like I'm keeping myself safe by push blocking the second hit here, but I really don't have a great opportunity of getting my turn back. But so it's like, if I know they're expecting me to push block, this is where the mind game comes in. Because I know they're going to do the slower option. All of a sudden I get the hit because I pressed. Instead of putting myself in the extra block stun right off the get-go. So I think that's what you're asking about for that. And then, again, the reason why it's a rock, paper, scissors is if instead they just do pressure that's really good for me to stick on them, or for them to stick on me, Yeah, I need to... I block this and I try and press. All of a sudden they're right next to me in plus. Yeah, the PBGC, what example block string can I do? Because, like, I don't end up finding myself able to PBGC all that often anymore. People are really good about layering an assist or keeping themselves safe for my push block guard cancel window. And for me, like, the reason... When I know is a good time to do this, the thing that, like, clues me in is... So it's like, I know I have this problem versus... Honestly, I'm pretty sure I have it versus Sev. She can probably tell you better than I can. But I know for a fact it's an issue versus Race, it's an issue versus Oddberry, it's an issue versus Gelato for me. Where I'm not getting opened up, but I am never... Like, it's taking me so long to get myself out of disadvantage. And so that is a lot of me needing to recognize, one, I'm being really predictable in my push blocks. Because it's like, yes, I'm safe. But then a brass comes in here, and then I have to hold it over and over and over again, and they can kind of just loop that. And they're not really at risk of anything happening to them. When would I get a push block in here? Or PBGC in here? Yeah, like, I mean, like, again, that pressure isn't really PBGC-able. And so, I will still aggressively PBGC, but that's more something I know it's not helpful, but I use it intuitively, where it's, oh, I know you're overextending here, and so I'm just gonna full send. And then, again, so, if I've push blocked poorly, or I've push blocked a multi-hit, or they didn't go as far away from me as I expected. So, like, if I push block the first hit here, that's when I'm looking to PBGC more, and actually that works. That's hilarious. Okay, so, like, I'm not flashing green, because the timing's not great. But that's, like, where PBGC would actually be more useful. Where it's, you know, they're sticking close to you, and you know there's a gap in their pressure. In this case, it kind of sucks because I can't get my charge, but I can not get my level 3. Where's my PBGC level 3? I'm too early. Do something like that. It's kind of just one, I know they're going to overcommit, and two, I know the reversal option I have beats whatever they overcommit with and their assist, possibly. Or I can, like, react in the super war to then win. Yeah, so exactly what I was talking about. That's another, honestly, probably a better example. The Annie players who love to do I do not remember the replay saving through different characters. Obviously, that's going to be really slow. But just who do that? So yeah, this. And this is something where it applies both. I did not get my PBGC. Oops. It's because this pressure's... I recorded that so poorly. But so you can PBGC here. You can also just jab if they're going to be dashing at you afterwards. But yeah, it's the push block is a main tool to think about, like, using and not using in defense, because I'm gonna do such a poor job of phrasing this properly. It keeps you safe, and you can use it to abuse absolute guard and all that sort of stuff. But just like a predictable offense can be really bad to you, using push block predictively lets people tailor their game plan to just always maintain advantage. Because if you're push blocking consistently at all the same spots, they can cover the PBGC window, especially if they have armored assists or lockdown assists, and then they just get tons of cracks at the apple to open you up. And so you've got to be aware of when and how you're push blocking and how your opponent is dealing with it. Because some people can't figure it out. Like, and those are the people I have really good player matchups against, because my defense is incredibly strong, but my push block habits are predictable. But the second I play versus someone who keys into the fact that this person preemptively push blocks the first or second hit of everything they do, like of everything I do, and I'm just gonna abuse the hell out of that. And all of a sudden I'm sitting here going, why can't I get out of defense? And it's because I'm not changing anything I'm doing, so there's no reason for me to win. But yeah, there's always something to look at. And it's like, the one thing that really helped me think about push block in this regard was treating push block much more like I'm putting myself in an extra 25 frames of block stun. Like, and yes, you get absolute guard and other things, so it's... But essentially, I am stuck in block stun for 25 frames after I push block. Yeah, so I hope that helps. That was a pretty rambly explanation. For you, Agent, like, it sounds like you're forcing yourself to play a character you don't like, and at least in my experience, I wouldn't recommend that. At least until you get to the really high level. Other than that, if you're more so worried about getting frustrated about like not being able to do things you know you can do on other characters, and that makes you upset, you kind of just gotta grit your teeth on that one. That's like, the only way that improves is by going through the painful period of making mistakes. And you kind of just gotta accept that. It's like, and the more you avoid it, the harder it's gonna be to actually play them, because you're just gonna build up how awful losing with them is gonna be in your head. But yeah. On that note, also, GG Sev, sorry I cut the set short, but I had to actually get the event started. One of these days I'll take a game off the Catgirls team. I just gotta stop dropping. I had some of those. Yada yada yada. God, those drops were painful. I did a good job not letting it get to my head, but man, how do I keep dropping L-Shot 5 medium punch? I'm going to turn into a psycho if I keep dropping that. But yeah. On that note, I'm probably gonna be shutting down the stream. Appreciate all y'all for showing up. Hopefully this helps. Y'all know the drill. If you have any further questions, just shoot a ping in the server. Gladly try and get on it. That being said, I'll probably be shooting y'all over to CatPie's stream. I'll get the video playing. Have a good night, everybody.
And my spectator.
That's okay.
Oh, nice! Ooh!
Oh, we avoided
Let's go.
it. Nice.
Oh, let me see it.
Hey,
Here's the combo.
Hey.
you finished this. They died.
That's somewhat of a combo,
Nice.
yeah.
Hey, they're dead.
We're missing a few more parts to it, but hey,
Yeah.
We got Abomination.
It's like we have some bombos, but like our knowledge of the mechanics of the game are not exactly there just yet.
that 2L from that correct light punch because of the armor, and then go to super. Oh shit! What the fuck? Oh god. Thanks for the raid. I'm assuming